Getting what you want comes at the cost of you coming off as arrogant, too mean-spirited, and sometimes downright awful. Now that may sound like a horrible way to get across this message, but there is an easy solution that I figured out that personally helps me get whatever I want for every situation, whether it's for something bad, something good, or something that contributes to the world as a whole. I spend the past day of my life just continuing to evolve as a person, whether that's making these videos as you've seen here, improving my communication skills, or even just buying products that makes me a better worker. This allows me to not only create better videos as you see here, but also help people in the act of just simply talking with one another. With a huge separation between many of us in our modern generation, it's good to know why we do the things we do. As such, I personally help young men in particular get better at communication skills as well as being more confident in themselves. If you want personal help from me, Arnel Arcega, you could check out my Instagram down below and I can personally help you with whatever problem you're coming across. For now, due to the nature of this video, getting what you want is rather easy, and I'm going to explain it in 3 easy steps with accompanying stories along with it. The first major thing you need to understand to get what you want is to be selfish of the problems at hand. Back in April of this year, I had a meetup with this girl named Ellie. She was this kind and considerate girl, but she also had a very unique kind of sense of humor to her. As such, I felt it hard, especially when planning things due to her eccentric nature. This is where the problem steps in. For many of us, when we think of how we can solve our problems, we want to go in the nicest and easiest way possible. But to be perfectly honest, we don't get our results unless we truly desire what we want. All these books here did not happen simply because I decided to read one day. Rather, I physically put this mindset in my head that if I were to finish these books, I would selfishly get all the information I wanted and desire the results that I got. It sounds mean, especially with how it's phrased to selfishly get all your problems, but this solution will work out in an infinite amount of ways, and I'm going to prove it with this story. Back to Ellie, we had a meetup come along because we were both on a college tour. She wanted to go at one place and I wanted the other, but I was very consistent on what we wanted. I wanted to solve both of our problems while keeping in touch with mine. The easiest way I did this was just to come up with compromises. This goes against what I'm saying with the selfishly solving your own problems, but there's an easy fix to this. Compromise whenever there's an opportunity to do so. If you are firm in whatever desire you want, whether it's to hang out with someone, eat a specific food, or just get the results you need, whether it's through literature, working out, or even just sleep, there is a fantastic element to choice that many of us don't understand. With this compromise, I simply made it clear to Ellie that I wanted to meet at this mall. I wanted to go out and go to places that it'd be fun for me as well as enticing for her. When we think about what we want, we personally have to solve our own problems. A lot of it is just lacking in the factor of what we need to do and what to get done. It was a hard, steady situation that I found myself in, but when I stuck to my morals and stuck to the plan that I wanted to get across, she obliged. For a young guy like me, I feel this is the easiest step, especially when you're trying to ask a girl out. You need to be able to get across what you want, what you personally find fun, without overtaking it. To be perfectly honest, a lot of girls my age and even closer towards that older 20s tend to have boring ideals. They go to parties, yes, and they do certain habits here and there, but for specific one-on-ones, they don't know what to do. So for someone who, like me, who's educating a lot of guys similar to me in age, it's best to know that we can solve these problems by selfishly looking at what we desire. And this case of what we personally want applies to many things in life, such as working out or reading more books or even just going out. It doesn't matter who says what, whether it's your parents stopping you, your friends stopping you, or even just nature itself stopping you. If you truly desire the results that you personally want out of anything, then you need to desire it with the utmost selfish need. You need to desire it, and the fact that you personally need to get it done. When you view this lens of just getting something done because you physically and mentally want to, then it becomes the mission in of itself, and you personally will get the results. It's easy when you view it in that motivation aspect. The more motivated we are to get an assignment or whatever kind of job we want, the better we get. It's all about failing over and over until we get to our exact results. Now, with that in mind, how do we move our exact results? Sometimes being selfish tends to push people away, and that's what happens. For my second big tip, I want you to think about kindness. More specifically, direct it in a forward and passionate way. Back in 2024, I had this friend of mine who I truly wanted to hang out with. Yes, a lot of these stories are made up of me hanging out with people, but sometimes they're the most unique and kind of stories. I wanted to go out to the park with him. His name we'll call Luke. Luke had a firm belief in life that the more we spend with one another, the better experience we get. He had a very spiritual look to him, and he had a huge coping mechanism through God. Now, I don't want to share too much personally about Luke, but in the case of direct kindness, he was the one who actively led this story along. We met up at a skate park a while ago, and despite him not being able to skate, I taught him pretty well. I've been using the skateboard recently, and it brought all those flashbacks to Luke. It felt very effective, and to me, it was a genuine, kind, and sweet effort that the both of us made. But how did we get to the point where we were able to just simply discuss topics of religion and ended up in topics of skateboarding? This is where direct kindness comes in. The more direct we are in what we want to talk about, whether it's just getting a specific assignment done or just going out somewhere, the better we get at our results. Luke taught me that not everything about the world has to be about religion. Yes, everything will go back to whatever we desire. And case in point, it will always lead us forward and backward. With that in mind though, when we wanted to just simply go out and have fun, to get to the point where we want it, it's all about directing the kindness, moving it along so that it's persuasive, less of coercion and more just letting the opportunity come to you. Similar to the story with Ellie, the more we were able to agree on something fun, the more likely we were able to get something done. Same case can apply for situations that don't involve fun, whether that's school, in assignments, but also in punchier aspects like physically working out or sleeping more. When we want these aspects done, we have to be kind to ourselves. We have to be kind to others. And like with Luke, I moved the religion topic along because I truly just wanted to go skateboarding. But his action to also follow with said kindness, because of my direct input, allowed us to go to the skating park, and we just skated for a good several hours. It was a beautiful experience, and it taught Luke a lot of things. I miss him every once in a while, but I'm telling you, it's a beautiful story that, soaked in the summer's air, made it all the more effective to what I personally wanted out of that experience. But let's say none of those things work. We're not being selfish enough, nor are we being direct in what we desire through kindness. What do we do if we want to get something that we simply don't know how to? This third story came to me earlier today, and there's the reason why I recorded this particular video more than all the other ideas I had in mind. In my English class, I was talking with a group of friends, and we were mentioning the topic of someone I haven't seen in years. We haven't seen her since last year in school, and it made me quite sad to imagine where she is now. This sparked something in me that made it different to all my usual interactions. For the most part, I keep things lighthearted. I don't get too deep into conversations. I don't want to get too personal because it's hard enough. But the more personal I get, the better I share out information. It's good enough to be teaching as well, but it's also about the relatability. What can I tell as a storyteller and an author to be able to move said conversations? This is when I went back to that same friend group at lunch, and we talked about the student. I'm not going to refer to her as anything for the sake of this video, but for me at least, if I wanted to get what I needed, why I wanted to talk about this specific student for so long, it was all about moving it with your own mouth. If we move something with our mouth, our physical jaw, let's say, the more we can get our information across. In most situations, whenever I'm talking with my brother or anyone older than me, I keep quiet to myself. I don't want to intervene and I don't want to be judged within the conversation itself. But this one topic of this student made me open up in a manner that never usually happens. We talked about what we loved about this student, how much she meant to all of us, and even though she was known as the smart student at her school, it's hopeful to know that she's okay somewhere. And that's a beautiful, kind message, especially from someone like me. For a more traditional guy who thinks along the lines of working out, getting better, and a lot of those self-improvement stuff, the more we talk about what we need, the better our own mouths move. We move in topics that relate to us, and when we get what we want, whether it's through communicative aspects or even just physical actions, our body needs to move along with it. It's not just a mindset thing. It's all about how we can move within a conversation so that we can get anything we desire. Everything has an action step to it, but it's all about how well you can interact to get said actions. You can't get it across by being silent. These thoughts about this student hasn't been one that I thought about for a good while because I kept it shut out for several months. It wasn't until now when I finally let it out that it made me more secure of what I wanted and how much I desired the need. What I wanted in this situation was more friends, to be able to talk more personally to one another. And that's what I got. I got out something that many of us will be able to cooperate and share whilst being able to enjoy the present moment. I don't want you to dwell too much on a specific given topic. The more we exaggerate one idea, the more it will affect us for the worse. Same case applies when we talk less about it. When we have to get what we need, we have to physically move our body forward, move our jaw up and down, and let the conversation breathe. It's all about practice, which again, I can personally help you out in my Instagram down below. The more we are able to practice our own mouths and be able to speak with someone through physical eye contact, as well as just directing kindness in our own goals, the better we get at what we want. So think about what you want in particular. Think about the mission you have at hand. Do you want more money? Do you want more physical gains from the gym? Or do you want to read more books? Anything both in and outside of those fields will work. And the better we get at figuring out our needs, the more likely we will able to desire it. It's all about motivation, the idea of moving with kindness, and finally, using what we want and physically moving towards it. That will allow us to get the results we desire. Thank you for everyone who has been in those stories in my life, and I was able to learn exactly what I want, even if hard times will come. Like I said in a previous video, hard times are just bumps we have to get over. And the more higher we get, the more we can exceed that curve and get to the point of stability. I want you to get to that point of stability, and when you return to this channel and return to this video, you will be a greater man, better than you were 10 minutes ago. All in all, continue to learn and use this information wisely. I want you to think about what you can do to improve, and unlike other YouTubers, I will help you personally in the achievements and desires you want. To communicate with other people better, check out my video of how to gain more friends, along with what you can do to appear more interesting. If you want to know more about me, check out my socials down below, along with my books down in the link of the description, and you can see exactly what I teach on my other main channel. Until next time, keep on working, keep on talking, and take care.